The Crusades, launched by European Christians in the 11th century, were a new kind of war, one driven not just by conquest, but by religious fervor. The call was to liberate the Holy Land from Muslim control, and the promise of divine reward fueled a fanaticism that would lead to some of the most horrific acts of injustice against civilian populations in the medieval world. The climax of the First Crusade came with the siege of Jerusalem in 1099. After 5 weeks, the Crusaders breached the city walls. What followed was a massacre of staggering brutality. The Crusaders, fueled by a zealous belief that they were acting on God's will, showed no mercy. The contemporary accounts, even from the Crusaders themselves, describe the streets running red with blood. The city's entire Muslim and Jewish population, men, women, and children, was systematically slaughtered or burned alive. The violence of the Crusades was not confined to the battlefield. The religious fervor that drove the armies also unleashed a wave of mob violence against Jewish communities across Europe. The Crusaders often saw no distinction between the infidels in the Holy Land and the Jewish people who lived in their own cities. Their persecution was a harbinger of the religious intolerance that would define much of the medieval period. The Crusades established a terrifying new precedent for wartime injustice. They showed how religious ideology could be weaponized to justify the mass slaughter of non-combatants and an entire population, all in the name of a holy cause. The legacy of their brutality would cast a long shadow over the history of warfare.